Hello and welcome. I'm learning a new programming language called Kotlin. So, first of all what I did was to install IntelliJ IDEA. IntelliJ IDEA is used to write a Kotlin programming language in order to create an Android application. So, after installing IntelliJ IDEA, I linked up my GitHub account um, so IntelliJ IDEA, I have to sign in my GitHub account over here. And after signing in my GitHub account over here, I also link up my local machine SSH key to GitHub, and so that I will be able to push my changes from my local repository to the remote repository in GitHub. So, in order to learn more about Kotlin, I had to create a learning model. First of all, I created a folder over here, and then in the folder, I have the collection lists. I learned how to create list, set, and map in Kotlin. I also learned conditional logic, the if and when conditional logic. I also learned how to create functions, simple functions in Kotlin. I also learned the loop, the for and while loop. I also learned the mechanic standard class and the data class in Kotlin. Using the knowledge in my learning model, I created a simple Kotlin prototype of the recipe organizer model. So in the model, I created an ingredient file that contains the ingredient data class. I created the meal plan that contains the um, meal plan data class and also the weekly meal plan data class. I also created the recipe. The recipe contains the recipe data class, and also I created the user preferences, which contains the user preferences data class. Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and show how our recipe organizer application works. So what we have to do is to get to the main Kotlin file over here. So we run our application. Let's rerun this. So we wait for our application to finish building up. And then you could see in our recipe organizer interactive console, we have menu here, which option one is list our recipe, view recipe details by ID, show quick recipe by their maximum cooking time, and the fourth one is show ingredient total. The fifth is add a sample recipe. Six, add your own recipe. 7, filter recipe by ingredients. 8, scale recipe savings. And Q is to quit. So we are going to choose option 6, which is add your own recipe. So we are going to add our own recipe here. Our recipe and let's call it fried rice. And then ingredients, we're just going to use all as our ingredients. This is for testing purpose. And then quantity 2 grams. Okay, do we have to add another ingredient? No, let's click on done. I don't want to add another ingredient. Cooking time, let's say 2 minutes. Number of settings, 2 minutes. Difficulty easy. And check. Let's use that as breakfast. Okay, what else? Um, let's try and check the list of all our recipe, which is option 1. Then we could see over here that we have fried rice, 2 minutes among the list of our recipe. And we could also filter recipe by ingredients. Let's check option 7. We use all ours as our ingredients. And you could also see here that fried rice was recipe being filtered by ingredient all. And okay, we could We can also add a sample recipe. Let's check use option 5, a sample recipe to check our application if it's working. Okay, that is a quick one. We added a sample recipe. Okay, added a sample recipe R5 quick salad. Okay, let's check in our list or recipe if it's there. So we could see R5 quick salad is being added. Let's check chicken stir fry R2 by option 2. R2. So you could see using an ID we have seen our recipe here R2. What is the recipe? Chicken stir fried. Cooking time is about 25 minutes, and all of the recipe details being shown here in the console. Thank you.